The other day, one of the gals from inside the Good Movement Collective sent me an email, and she said, T, this may have saved my life. And she didn't mean it in some sort of cliche way. She actually meant it, literally meant it. Another woman told me she'd never had a safe space to share these things without fear of judgment before the collective. Others have said it's carried them through very hard seasons and that the collective gave them space to finally breathe. The Good Movement Collective is not fancy. It's real, it's honest, it's raw, and most importantly, it's a safe, supportive space for rural women to come together to explore these patterns that keep us stuck, break generational cycles, and draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and within our own hearts. If that's something that you've been looking for, the doors are open. Visit the link in the show notes and come join us inside of the Good Movement Collective.
I'll carry you, you carry me, we'll help each other through it. Come on and see, good movement draws good movement.
Welcome to Good Movement Draws Good Movement, the podcast where farmers, ranchers, and rural folks can grow relationally through awareness, understanding, and effective communication. Hey, it's T. I'm your host, and I, along with my guests, will be covering topics related to drawing good movement. Things like self and social awareness, brain science, positive psychology, extending grace, and so much more. We'll share tools that can help you understand why you are the way you are, why others are the way they are, and how you can use that to step out of self-told lies with grace and compassion to draw good movement in conversations, relationships, and life in rural America. Let's go draw good movement.
Welcome back to the Good Movement Draws Good Movement podcast. In this lifestyle, in ranching, in agriculture, in rural America, we get pretty dang good at staying calm under pressure. Whether we get the call that our herd has escaped and they're on the neighbors, we have a cow calving backward, or there's a winter storm rolling in and we need to get the animals fed and in protection, we don't have time to panic. We just deal with it. We get the job done. And that is a great skill to have until it's not. Because I've realized both in myself and in a lot of the people that I work with that what we call calm isn't always calm. Sometimes it's shutdown. And those two things can look the same on the outside. You're calm, collected, not reacting. But on the inside, it feels much different. Maybe your chest is tight, your thoughts are foggy, you're miles away from the actual present moment. You are numb. At least that's how it felt for me when I was in shutdown. I looked calm, but I was numb. And that is not calm. That's your nervous system taking over, hitting the brakes. And that makes sense, right? Most of us in agriculture have been taught to hold it together, to be the strong one, to push through, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And when things get hard, we put our heads down and we keep moving. Outwardly, calm and shutdown, again, they look similar. And yet they lead us in totally different directions. One keeps us connected and present, and the other keeps us disconnected and stuck. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about how to tell the difference between the two. What's actually happening in your body when you shut down, how it shows up in relationships, and how to come back from it when you catch yourself there. So true calm is a regulated nervous system, a nervous system that moves between sympathetic back to parasympathetic. You can still think, you can feel, and you can connect. You can be present in the moment. while shutdown looks like the body in conservation mode. There might be numbness, disconnection, a slow heart rate, a foggy brain, inability to stay present in the moment, inability to feel. They both look quiet, but one is actually peace. Calm is actually peace. And the other is a protective freeze. I think in one of our recent episodes, I talked about my functional freeze. That's what that looks like. And it's easy to confuse the two. Last fall, one of my sisters-in-law and I were out and we were caking our herd and we have the best conversations, my sisters-in-law and I. And we were having a deep conversation and she brought up the fact that she just wanted to be more like me, like never riled up, always calm, like always even keel. And I looked at her and I said, I haven't been that way. And when I was stuck in my functional freeze, I might have said the same, like, oh yeah, I'm never bothered by anything. But having done the inner work and really healed a lot of things, I realize now that I was definitely not actually calm. I was actually numb and shut down. And so I talked to her about that. I said, it might look like I was calm and even keel, and maybe I even presented myself that way, but on the inside, that is not what was happening. I was shoving down, I was comfortably numb, and like I wasn't present. And the reason why we confuse the two, actual calm and shutdown, is because culturally, we've been rewarded for holding it all together and not making a scene. When I was in that phase, you never saw me get heated. You never saw me express anything but happiness and joy, except for it wasn't fully happiness and joy because I wasn't fully feeling all of the other things. And then, not to mention in agriculture, emotions equal weakness. And shutting down and appearing stoic, that looks like strength. And many of us were never taught, we never learned the language of our body. So we mistake numb for calm, or at least I did for quite a long period of my life. So how can we tell the difference? How can you tell the difference if you find yourself in a moment where you look calm, but maybe you're not calm? So listen to the cues of your body. When you're calm, your breath moves easily. You can breathe. That's actually one of the ways now that I know that I'm entering into a shutdown, because even after doing all the healing work that I've done, that doesn't mean that I never fall into shutdown. So if I notice that I'm not breathing, that's a cue. When you're calm, your eyes can focus. When I was in my freeze state or numb and shut down, I could not hold eye contact. I could not. That was one of the most uncomfortable things for me to do, was hold eye contact. But when you're actually calm, you can hold eye contact for a uncomfortable amount of time, uncomfortable for other humans. But also in the calm, you can stay curious and connected with yourself and with others. When you're shut down, it might feel like you have a tight chest. Again, one of my cues is I'm not breathing. So tight chest, shallow breathing. Your brain feels far away from the present moment. That is another cue for me, because I will just go inward and travel somewhere else in my mind. You're not very curious, and you just in general feel disconnected. Maybe you feel numb. So when you find yourself in a state and you're like, oh, I think I might be in shutdown, but maybe this is calm, you can ask yourself things like, can I feel my feet on the ground? Can I smell the air? Can I feel the reins in my hands? Something to bring you present. And if you can't feel your feet on the ground, if you can't smell anything, if you can't taste stuff, your body might be sliding into freeze or into shutdown. So awareness is the first step. You can't draw good movement out of cattle, other humans, yourself, if you don't first know where the pressure is, if you're not aware of what's happening in real time. So how to come back from a shutdown? This is something that I've been working on in my own life. This is something I work on with the people I work with, but breathe. We just had an episode a couple weeks ago about intentional breath. Breathe. Get outside and move. You don't even have to get outside. Move. Do some exercise. Literally breathe that out, move it out, shake it. Like literally breathe and move. Then you can name what's happening. I notice that I feel numb right now. I notice that I am not present. Name what is happening. Connect with your people who help you feel safe, or connect with your animals, because calm co-regulation brings you back to present. There is almost nothing that will bring me back to present like a big warm hug from Tom. And maybe you're not a hugger, but find that safe person to help bring you back to present, help bring you back to actual calm. Or go pet your dog, go ride your horse, go smell your horse. I mean, that'll bring me back to present too. There's almost nothing like the smell of a horse. Ground yourself in the physical. So again, feel your feet on the ground, touch the fence, feel the reins in your hands. Notice the birds making noise around you. Notice the rustle of the fall leaves. I mean, because it's fall right now. But ground yourself in the physical, in the tangible. Use your senses to help bring you back to present and out of shutdown. So tying in a little bit of stockmanship to this, when a calf freezes or a cow is high-headed and stops when we're moving them or asking them to go somewhere, we back off the pressure. And when we back off the pressure, that helps them use their brain. And the same goes for us. When we back off the pressure or can back off whatever is causing us to feel shut down, then we can come back online. And again, we're attuned to our body and our emotional center in our brain. So then the logical center comes back online. Like the same goes for us. Shutdown, what it does is it robs us of connection. So it's hard for us to feel love, empathy, or clarity there. And it's not weakness to notice or admit that. It's wisdom. So learning to regulate our nervous systems and know the difference between calm and shutdown, what that does for us is improves our communication. It improves our decision making, and it strengthens our relationships, both at home and on the farm or ranch. So I want to leave you with a couple of questions to chew on. When was the last time you thought you were calm, but you were actually shut down and disconnected? And what did your body feel like in that moment? By recognizing what was happening then, you can pick up on it in real time, and you can use the tools to bring yourself back to present and actual calm. The goal, again, is not to never shut down. It's to notice sooner and come back quicker. So with that, until next time, draw good movement.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for you. If you found value in this episode, I'd love for you to share with others who might also benefit from tuning in. Share by word of mouth, send it in a text, take a screenshot and post it on social media, or share however you prefer. And if you haven't already, hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Until next time, draw good movement.